Here we'll be talking a lot about challenges in management education, enough MBA graduates but not enough managers in industry, value and outcome based management education, best practices and innovation in management studies, emergence of online management courses. So here can I call upon Dr. Nagarajan Ramamurthy, Director IIM Amritsar. Professor Dr. K. Sri Harsha Reddy, Director IMT Hyderabad. Also, can I please call upon Professor Bharat Bhushan Singh, Director Vishwa Vishwani Institute of Systems and Management. Also, can I have Director Karunakar B, Director Geetam, Hyderabad Business School at Geetam Deemed University. Since Dr. Nagarajan Ramamurthy will be moderating this session, I'll give it over to sir. Also, can I have Mr. Srinivas Murthy from IPE Institute?
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's just start the session. I've been told to keep it to about 30 minutes, so let us try to focus on the key points and then move on. For the panelists, this is going to be the process. We have 4 topics and 45, about 30 minutes now, about 6-7 minutes per topic. So we'll have one round where please express your opinion to restrict yourself to 1 minute. And then on the same topic, we'll have a second round, right, based on what comes up in the first one. The first question for the panelist is, we have enough MBA graduates, but not enough managers or leaders in the industry. In the context of challenges in management education, can you please elaborate what is the one single reason you have a challenge?
Okay, so very good afternoon to all of you. So coming to this very important question, enough MBA graduates, but not enough managers. It's all about how we are training our students. If you take a look at India, currently we have got something like 5,000 management colleges, and are all of them providing enough right pedagogy and quality? To train one into a good manager, it's not just the theory, the systems thinking and the mental models. What is really important is also the hands-on approach. And that happens through the various internship programs that a student undergoes. Also the way the whole course is conducted. So when you do a 30 hours course, how much of the involvement of the student is there in terms of assignments and projects and group discussions, things like that. So it is the pedagogy, it is the active involvement of the faculty. Many of the faculty, they are good instructors, but they are not really that great facilitators. So these are the kind of pieces you need to work on that will lead to coming out with great students who will find a quick absorption in the industry. So that's my point of view.
Your point.
Thank you, Professor. Very good evening to all the esteemed members here, and my congratulations to the organizers who have thought this theme and doing this two-day festival, especially Sri Naveen Mittalji and Sudeep. If only we try to enrich the teaching learning process. In teaching learning process, we have one stakeholder teacher, the other stakeholder student, and make it more application oriented. If only our curriculum can be designed using this framework called KSA framework, where all the ingredients of the curriculum moves around knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So this is one intervention which can help overcome this challenge of handling the employability or industry readiness of the MBA graduates, and we can turn them into employable business leaders. Second aspect is, of course, we will have a wonderful curriculum, But who is that who is going to implement this? It has to be teachers. So it has to be the professors. So if only we can have a better exposure to the professors. Yesterday in inaugural session, I heard one of the speakers talking about, I have lakhs of students, but I only have 11,000 teachers. If we can invest in teachers and make them appreciate this KSA framework and give them enough exposure to adapt, experience learning pedagogic styles, then that would help to resolve the problem of industry readiness, the problem of not just having mere management graduates, but we would have the business leaders in place. So I'll park here and pass it on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for putting your perspective. My name is Dr. Bharat and I am representing Vishwa Vishwane Business School, Hyderabad. It's such a pertinent question. Enough MBAs, but not enough managers. So my take here is, when I did my MBA, it was somewhere in 1985-90s, and we used to talk about, is management a science or an art? And the debate used to go on, and then thereafter someone coined, it's neither art nor science, it's a mix of it. And thereafter, when liberalization came in, and then we are seeing a lot of global impact on workforce and the way they are being trained, people are talking MBA is neither art nor science, it's the discipline of practice. So if we have to produce enough managers, we have to take this particular program from practice perspective. The way an MBBS or a dental sciences students are being trained, our MBA students needs to be trained in those lines only. Not in the classrooms, not with curriculum, but giving them challenges of businesses and making them solve outside the classroom. I will give you an example how Harvard and even ISB at Hyderabad is addressing this issue of challenging these MBA students to make them a great managers for future. So Harvard runs a program, it's a one-year program, internship program, or they call it as immersion program by the name Field. So 1 year MBA, but they learn all the craft while interacting with the industry. So they solve many problems through simulation or actuals, and at the end of the day, they are well-rounded, well-hammered professional who are ready to take up any challenges of the business. Same goes with ISB. They also have a beautiful program. They have coined it as SEAL program, wherein lot of immersion activities happens. I think it runs for around 3 months or 2 months, wherein the students are sent in the industry and they handle the situations and problems of the industry. So whatever is expected of them, they are learning while doing. So I think around 1 o'clock, madam from Wisconsin University, she was talking about students learn the craft while engaging in actually solving the problem. So that should be the future. So I feel instead of approaching MBA as an academic learning, wherein we focus too much on learning in the classroom, passing the examination, we have to think in terms of integrating this MBA with the business world, wherein they approach the problem and solve it. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, it is a challenge. That's a very big challenge where so many MBA graduates get into a college, but they don't get the qualities that they need to be good managers or leaders. I think the biggest solution or the only solution that I can think of is interaction with the industry. So unless they interact with the industry and get inspired by what the leaders in the industry are doing, it will be difficult for them to go forward and get into a corporate environment and do something which is good. Another aspect that is missing is empathy. So a lot of these students need to understand empathy, so they have to get into live projects. I'll give you an example. So we are working on a project called the Digital Street Project, where we are interviewing street vendors and trying to understand the problems that they are facing in their daily lives and how did COVID affect them. So what we did, we involved all the students. So we have multiple centers across India. We involved MBA students to interact with the street vendors so that they understand that these are the kind of problems that these people face, and they also got some credit for it. So such kinds of interventions are needed, and that will definitely lead them to become good managers and leaders. Thank you.
Sri Mittalji and all academicians and friends of it. The situation is a case of a demand-supply mismatch. The supply side is more than the demand. The demand for the right type of candidates who can take up the job from the day one. So while we have a system where we have large number of engineering colleges in the country, while we boast of the demographic dividend for India because of the population, we can certainly be boast of India producing large number of engineering graduates from IITs and also National Institute of Technologies and so many engineering colleges. But it's not stopping there. For getting job, students are going for management education. Then when you go to the management education, industry is expecting certain traits from the students. And the curriculum we design should ensure that they go in the form the industry wants. Industry wants a student with 4 qualities. I call it as in Telugu, there is a word called Kasi. Should have the urge to excel. K-A-S-I, Kasi. K stands for knowledge, A stands for attitude, S stands for skill, and I stands for integrity. So a well-rounded personality who is right for the job, it may be HR or finance or operations, is he aware of the job itself, first of all. Proper training to take up the job and understanding colleagues, working the team spirit and working with colleagues, proper communication skills. So the curriculum and the pedagogy we follow in management schools should ensure that the candidate we sent out is ready to take up the job and ready to be accepted by the industry. So we should try to provide the product in such a way that they are ready to take up the job. Unless in the case of medical profession, but there is no critical method of evaluation, but industry has its own method of shortlisting candidates. At least can we ensure that our students, they get through this selection process. They have to crack either GD or aptitude test or even interview. Finally, of course, they are going to train them for a short period of time. But they don't want to take up the major responsibility of training for a longer period of time. Thank you.
Thank you. We got some interesting perspectives. Let me take one more round from the, maybe again this time we can start from here. I think yesterday also one of the speakers mentioned that about 80% of the MBA graduates are not employable. Okay. I forget which session it was. Given that we know the issues we talked about, pedagogy and industry relevance and all that, what do you think should be one single most important intervention that as educators we can do?
Thank you, sir. It is an extension of the argument I was making earlier. And the pedagogy should provide ample opportunity for students to understand the realistic situations using case studies, simulations, and the students should really feel that they are solving a real-life business problem. It's not theoretical one, but they should be given with case studies and they should be involved with the discussions, and we can even invite industry experts to share their problems, but they should have a feel of industry problem being discussed in the classroom. And with the technology playing a greater role, the students should be exposed to similar problems in different types of industries, in different countries. It's easy for us to bring a lot of cases to the classroom and enable students to discuss. And then actually the question of employability comes into picture because the industry is not accepting the raw form. So can we really fine tune? Can we really nurture? Can we really bring the students in proper form that they are strong in fundamentals, they are good in the skills, at the same time they have right type of qualities like integrity, and they should be ready to accept others' opinion, and they should be ready to work in a team. So this is an integration of domain experience as well as experience related to the human values. I think we should have a holistic education to improve these employable graduates.
Let me just refocus for you. I think we talked about faculty, right? I think one of the speakers said that 11,000 faculty, but 1 lakh students and all. Now, what intervention do you see for faculty members to help prepare better MBA graduates, who can be effective managers and leaders?
So my point of view is faculty members alone can't do this job. So I'll stick to my point. I am talking from the perspective of management education only. So here industry requirement is the prime focus. So let's say a faculty member is discussing a case on a platform. Okay, so let's say there's a platform called Trice which delivers food into different communities in Hyderabad. We are discussing that case and there are some problems that the Trice platform is facing. So if we invite the founder of Trice into the classroom and he interacts with the students and asks them questions, what are the suggestions that you are giving and does he agree with them or not? So such kind of interventions will be very beneficial. So you can have people from different types of industry, from the social sector, from the government sector, from the technology sector and all that. And jointly if the faculty members deliver such sessions and discuss such cases or stories, then the intervention will be fruitful. That's my brief point.
So your thoughts on...
Thank you, sir. So it's very interesting actually. We are talking of how to avoid redundancy in management education. If I tell you, probably many of you are aware like why so many good Hindi movies have failed. People are talking about boycotts, but it's not about boycotts. The new generation is not finding any connect with the kind of movies being made by Bollywood. Tollywood is doing great, even Collywood is doing great, but Hindi movies, they are not doing great. And people are talking about there is a sub-disconnect. I will give you one example of my institute, and then I will connect what interventions are required. So, in my institute, we organized one hackathon for 24 hours, which was sponsored by NASA. And what was that hackathon about? We set team of 3 students, identify the greatest problems of our country, and then what is your strategy to solve it. And they had 24 hours to do it. And then we created a kind of activities every 2-3 hours. Some presentations were happening. You won't believe we had 90% attendance. Whole day, whole night, guys struggled. And we had some wonderful program, wonderful activities and wonderful problems and solutions. In that process, we trained individual to imagine, identify problems, and then approach with limited resources and solve it. So that is what is required. Faculties should stop teaching in the classroom. We should not teach now because students are more smarter. They are 6G, we are 2G. So therefore, to become compatible with them, we have to be more imaginative and create challenges and problems for them and be a great facilitator and push them in. They are going to do wonders. I feel, because I have seen as a director how my students at the dead of the night were working. At 2 o'clock they were working on the problem because they wanted to win. They wanted to present the best. And in that process, they learn a lot. Management education has to approach from this angle, and the intervention from our end is let us be more facilitator and less teacher, be more imaginative and throw challenges to our students and make them work hard on that. You will see the wonders. Thank you so much.
Logic, I just want to share 2 interventions where IMT was part. One with the students and one with the faculty. So, in association with Hyderabad Management Association, we have launched a program called Industry Readiness Program, IRP. Now, the third, we've recently concluded third one, where 42 hours of input was given to BBA final year students and MBA final year students from affiliated colleges in and around Hyderabad and Telangana, divided into 3 modules. 1, basic soft skills, 2, employment readiness skills, and 3, industry readiness skills, where the inputs were given not only by the faculty members but also industry, what Professor Sanjay was referring to. It's a co-designed, co-delivered module to the final year students with an objective to enhance the industry readiness skills. This was a pilot which can be scaled up if only this is an open program. So all the while I've been requesting Sri Navin Mittalji that let us expand this to the students of all the affiliated. I learned that 200 BBA colleges are there only in Usmania University purview. So this can be scaled up and could be a solution to enhance the industry readiness skills. Second one with faculty. So way back in 2014 when Vignan University was setting up, then their chairman took initiative and asked us to train their 12 faculty members. So we designed a 15-day module where 3 kinds of inputs are given. One with reference to participant-centered teaching pedagogy. Second one on research, both theoretical and action research, on research methodology. And third one, how to collaborate with industry. So many a times faculty would complain that academia would complain that industry is not coming forward. If only you show them the relevance, how we can partner with the industry. Industry is far more ready to come and collaborate with us. If only you create a purpose and facilitate it. So, I mean, once again, this can be an initiative which can be scaled up to the 300 odd faculty members in the state of Telangana. So I feel these 2 interventions for students as well as faculty, where colleges like ours and associations like CII and departments like higher education department, if we can come together and create such intervention, this would this would be a significant step towards handling this problem of lack of employment skills among the MBA graduates. Thank you, Professor.
You know, enough research has gone to understand why people really succeed in life. And I'm speaking with specific relevance to management education. So, a couple of things are what I would call it as the hard skills. And this is systems thinking and mental models. So, many of the management schools, they provide this kind of systems thinking and mental models in each of the functional subjects that they teach, be it marketing, finance, HR, operations, etc. Now this happens in the classrooms, and well, the faculty is also innovatively designing the curriculum so that there is a continuous evaluation, there are quizzes, assignments, projects, etc. But that's not enough. A lot of learning happens outside the classroom. And this is very important. And there are 3 critical elements which a person has to pick up over the 2 years MBA, or let's say even the BBA, which is a 3-year program. And these 3 qualities are, number 1, personal mastery. Number 2, very, very important, team working skills. And number 3 is, you need to have a personal vision. Now, for these 3 things to happen, I think the best platform, and I've seen it, I've experienced it, is the student club activities. And some excellent examples were given just now by Bharat. Hackathon he talked about. Okay, I've seen students simulate this Indian Premier League competition. Who is the best CEO? Who is the best CFO? So student club activities, I think, are very important. Sports are extremely important. There is no better way to learn about team working skills than through the team sports. Okay? Having said that, I think one thing which probably some of the best of the management schools are doing is they are trying to put in a mentoring system. For example, here at Gita, where I'm working, we have a mentoring system. A faculty is given 20 students to mentor, and when it comes to the BBA students, over the whole of the 3 years, any problem, any issue, that particular student can approach the faculty. So same kind of mentoring system is there even for the MBA students who are undergoing the 2-year program. And the faculty have been trained as to how to mentor. Mentor is not about giving advice, okay? In fact, mentoring is all about understanding that student, helping him understand what are his strengths, and helping him realize his personal vision, which I talked about. So it's a lot of deep work, it's a very involved work, and I think that can make a real big difference when it comes to creating a holistic management graduate who will find immediate placements when he walks out of the portals of the institute. So just to summarize, it is not just the hard factors, which is systems thinking and mental models. It's a lot to do with the soft factors, the personal mastery, the team working skills, and helping that student to probably come out with a personal vision for himself. Thank you.
Okay, interesting. Now let's go to the third and fourth and try to combine the best practices and innovation in management studies and the emergence of online management education. The reason is that, after 2 years of COVID, when we had to quickly make adjustments to our teaching and pedagogy, right, and get the students graduate, we learned a lot about, innovation, some different practices. Okay. What do you think are some of the best practices in management education that we have learned in the recent past? And with online education, probably, either in its entirety or in a hybrid manner, is going to be the future. What challenges do you see in that?
Yeah. So coming to the best practices and innovation, I think our NEP, the new education policy, has got some really great stuff in it. And I think a lot of hard work has gone into crafting and shaping that policy under the chairmanship of Kasturi Rangan. Okay? So, one of the great things about that particular policy is, and I'm keeping in mind the BBA students who go over a 3-year program, that particular student has the option of learning new subjects from other disciplines. It could be from engineering. I want to learn more on artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud, etc. Okay? So there is this, or I want to learn more about psychology or something on environmental science. So this system of open electives, wherein you are required to give 24 credits or 8 subjects, which are spread over 2 to 2.5 years, I think is a very, very welcome thing. Because many a time what happens is the students, when they join, quite a few students, they have joined more because of their parents' compulsion into that particular area, rather than trying to really understand what is their real interest. And I think this was brought out so beautifully in this movie called 3 Idiots, where one of the characters, is put into engineering when actually his interest was in wild photography or something. So I think that's a very welcome thing. And the second thing, one of the things we have been working on at Gita is to have a holistic career guidance. We call it as Gita Career Guidance Center, where one of the pieces I talked about is the mentoring. Second is the soft skills development. And the third is what everyone knows it as placements. And these are very beautifully integrated. We do right at the beginning a psychographic profiling and this kind of data comes to the mentor and it helps him to kind of guide the student over his 3 years journey. And another point I just want to touch upon is we are giving a lot of importance to entrepreneurship. We want job creators. So we have a venture development center where we have collaborated with the Northeastern University at Boston, and we are now creating that platform of incubation. In fact, this work has been going on over the last 2 years. So I would say this is a it's not that we don't know about the entrepreneurship development. Yes, I've been hearing about it over the last 10 years, but I think how you really implement, that is the key. Many of the ideas are already there, but I think the trick is about the art and science of implementation. I think that's very important. And that comes only when you have got level 5 leaders within the institution.
So I'll just share about one innovation which we have been practicing. It's called practitioner sessions. Right from 2011, across every course, 20% of the course is handled by corporate leaders who are involved in designing, delivering, and evaluation of the courses, which is very difficult to implement. But this straight away brings corporates to the academics and then enhances that industry-academia interaction. And with reference to the online, thanks to COVID, so many of us could quickly adapt to the online teaching learning process. But if you ask both teachers and students, none of them had that enriching experience. So, good news for all the teachers and students. There is something called Metaverse which is coming up, which is a three-dimensional, the two-dimensional website, what you see now, which will be three-dimensional. And so, hopefully, as we move forward, blended learning will exist. That is both physical as well as digital, called as phygital. So, gear up for the phygital mode of teaching and learning. Thank you.
Well, for paucity of time, we have got a warning. So I'll just take 20 seconds. So the question was, what best practices we have started or initiated post-COVID? So if we look at NEP, it talks about giving credits for all the non-educational or non-academic activities. Earlier it was not. Like if you're in the sports, you are missing classroom, you fail in the exams. And if we want to train real managers, we have to give them a lot of activities and projects so that, as Sir was referring to about team building, about problem solvers, about understanding, imagining. So we started giving credits for all the club activities, all the organizing activities, all the off-class, whatever work a student is doing. If he's organizing a quiz, we are giving them a credit. If they are part of the club, if they are even organizing Freshers' Day, we are giving them the credit for that work. And that has really helped us in ensuring a very holistic approach to what we are trying to achieve as a business school, a premium business school of Hyderabad. And the results we are seeing, the first post-COVID batch has passed out 2022. And the results has been really great. So this is what I urge all the colleges to give them credit for whatever they are doing it. And the results will definitely be different. Thank you.
So one best practice that we are continuing post-COVID is the ability to invite the best people around the world through the online sessions. It could be Zoom or Google Meet. So anywhere in the world, if that person is, we don't have to spend money and we can simply invite that person. All the students and faculty members can get enlightened with their views. And one drawback that I see of online education is in the field of evaluation. So if you are trying to conduct a test and trying to evaluate students, how do you make them responsible? How do you make them avoid cheating? So that's a big question mark that I see. Apart from that, doing multiple degrees or doing multiple courses through online education is a big plus point. Thank you.
Online courses have become necessity in the wake of COVID. In a way, we are able to integrate online into our regular offline course system. It has helped us to offer many courses, online courses, and we are able to manage the time. And in fact, the industry has also appreciated the way we have done the courses during this corona period. We at IPE, we followed hybrid method. Initially, we have gone for a complete online. Then there was some improvement. We have gone for hybrid, where students were sitting in the classroom and others were at home. But then we have come back to the offline. But whatever is the mode of method we follow, what is important is whether the student is able to get what is he expected to get. So the eye contact is possible, and we should ensure that they are actually getting the inputs we have provided in the curriculum. So as I told in the beginning, if we ensure that they have a proper mix of knowledge and skill and integrity, I think, and of course what we have done at IP, we want to bring out socially responsible citizens. So we should also involve students with society, taking them to orphanages or other places. They should feel that management education is one where they not only work for some corporates, but they should also work for the society.
Thank you. Thank you to all the panelists. We got an interesting perspective. Let me just conclude, because I was told that, time is running out. One food for thought for you to think. Case studies are being used almost extensively in many universities. A few years ago, Columbia University's Business School conducted a study, and through the recruiters, what the recruiters are looking for is for managers graduates or managers who can make decisions under uncertainty, which to me is taking one step beyond the case study, because case study we already know what happened. So here, how do we impart those type of skills where the decision making under uncertainty can be done? With that, I conclude, and once again, I want to thank all the panelists and the organizers for organizing, allowing us to share our experience. Thank you.
Thank you all the panelists for such insights and interesting discussion. I would like to call upon our program chair, Shri Naveen Mittal, IS Commissioner, to please hand over a token of appreciation to our panel discussion members. Can I please have Professor Dr. K. Sri Harsha Reddy, Director IMT Hyderabad. Next up, can I have Professor Bharat Bhushan Singh, Director, Vishwa Vishwani Institute of Systems and Management. Can I have Dr. Karunakar B, Director, Gita, Hyderabad Business School at Gita Deemed University. Can I have Dr. Nagarajan Ramamurthy, Director, IIM Amritsar, who has so wonderfully moderated the discussion. Tell me the name. Can we have Sanjay Fuloria, please? And can we have Mr. Srinivas Murthy from IPE? Can we ask all the panel members to come ahead for a group picture? Thank you all the members.